Welcome back to the Whiskey Vault, the Advent calendar. I think this is day 16. So I did all of the 15 in like one kind of batch before Thanksgiving. And then I took Thanksgiving. And now I'm starting with day 16 on December 1st by myself and again shooting alone. But there were some tips that you guys had to endure for 2 weeks, but tough luck. That's what happens when you're not a video guy. I moved the microphone down a little bit. It's just kind of pinching the shirt. Let's hope that that does a little bit better. And I'm using, the reason the video cut looks so weird is because I filmed using the wrong aspect ratio. But I shot 15 videos and I have no intention of redoing them. So here we are. Thanks, Mike, for being so flexible. Mike is a video editor, and he is good at what he does. And he's flexible at working with the random crap that I give him to deal with. So, I like the system. We're going to carry on the system. Master of Malt Drinks by the Dram. Is that what it's called? Drinks? Yeah, Drinks by the Dram. Advent. This is the Premium Whiskey Advent Calendar, day 16. I am going in blind. The label is covered. And then there's a piece of paper in here that tells me what it is when I'm ready to uncover it. We've had some good things. It was a little bit weird to start the entire calendar with Pete. But nice, because I like peaty whiskey, but it's a good thing you like that kind of thing. Okay. Sorry, getting back into the flow of things. And notes are helpful. I always, remember, always try to take your notes. Try to ask your brain, what is it that you're smelling? If you have a hard time picking up things and you're smelling, you're just like, I just smell vanilla. I just smell. That's normal. That just means you haven't created the patterns to call from yet. That's why one thing that can be really helpful is actually smelling. Go online, Google a description of that whiskey, and find those real things in a grocery store, and then smell them side by side with the whiskey. It's super nerdy, but it works. The other thing that I do is I keep these little shortcut sheets of tasting references and nose references that sort of remind me of what's out there so I don't get tunnel vision and get too caught up in specific things. The only thing I don't like about these is it's accurate. That's a weird thing to say, but it's the Charles McLean tasting wheel, I think, if I remember correctly. Anyway, it's so accurate, but it's not accurate for how my brain thinks. So the fact that, for example, in the woody era, custard and Madeira cake and toffee are in the wood section is scientifically accurate because that's something that the wood provides. And that is a very good thing to do to start to teach you the things that those parts of the production process are arriving at. But it's not how my brain works, and so I always find myself getting a little bit lost in the, oh, that's right, that's over here. So nose first. Ooh, this is really simple vanilla cream. It's very soft. I wonder what the proof is. I'm shooting these later in the day. Last time I shot it starting at 1. This time I'm starting at like 5 or 6, so I might get a little bit nose fatigue here. I might have to kill it and start again tomorrow. We'll see. So there's a slight musty citrus, but mostly I just get vanilla cream. I could say a little bit of a floral direction. A little bit of orange, but there's this really shiny vanilla note. It smells simultaneously soft and bright at the same time, if that makes any sense. So if we're talking the vanilla direction, I am getting custard and cream, but I'm also getting, as it sits, some actual wood notes are starting to drift forward. I am also getting a little bit of old furniture, antique wood, not polish, not shiny, not heavy resin, just dried old wood, old boards. But it's densely sweet, a little toasted. I'm going to say my brain is leading me down a certain path already. Let's try it and see if I'm way out in left field. Okay. In the palate, it went real narrow in the middle, shot down, and then sort of spread out as you went to swallow and crawled across the back of the palate. And what it started with was a really simple, sweet, vanilla yogurt-covered raisin. There's a little bit of a tanginess to this that gives it that sort of like almost roasted fruits, but it's not really. It's not roasted. It's not dense. It's way more vanilla and cream and floral than it is fruit, dark fruit heavy. But there's a hint of, that's why I say coated in custard raisin, but it's just barely there. And then there's this really metallic finish that like belies the softness of the, and I had water over, you know what, I'm not going to mess with that. We'll leave it right here. I keep going back to it because there's this metallic note that's throwing me a little bit. Okay. I'm going to say this is because of that really light vanilla cream, but also the slight mustiness, that is a marker for me, typically for Speyside. So I'm going to say this is a Speyside malt. And I was going to say it's a big brand, lower proof, large volume producer. I still kind of feel like it is because it has that sort of like washed out profile where it's not like none of the flavor notes are really dominating or taking front place. That could also mean that it's older because it smells more dense than it tastes, but there's a taste. It doesn't taste blended, but I would almost argue it's reminding me of the rum cask blended scotch that we did one time where it was kind of a musty malt vibe, and then it finished with this metallic vanilla. And I don't know if the metallic vanilla is coming because it's some kind of a finish, or if the metallic vanilla is coming because this is actually like, maybe it's an older blend. It may not be Speyside, it just may be that the malts that are in the blend are dominated by Speyside malts. This could be something like a really nice Johnny Walker, or we already did Johnny Walker though, a couple. It could be that it's another blend, but it's smelling really delicate for a blend. Wow. Okay. I don't know. I'm just gonna look at what it is. I'm sort of struggling here a little bit. It is, okay. It's Glenfiddich. It is a single malt. Glenfiddich 21-year-old Grand Reserva. I don't know anything about the 21-year-old Grand Reserva. Like, what are the barrels that go into it? No idea. But it makes sense that it's Glenfiddich. Let's see what the proof is. 40. Also makes sense. What I don't get is that metallic note at the very end on a whiskey that's that old. It makes sense that it's that soft. It's got to be something in the finishing that's adding that vanilla icing direction that, to me, always makes my brain think of a rum finish. But I thought that a rum finish was like a real special edition. What would I compare it to? Let me look and see what I have in the Glenfiddich range that maybe had rum. Maybe that would help. Didn't Fire and Cane have rum? Oh, but that's smoky. Yeah, that was a smoky whiskey finished in sweet rum casks. I mean, we could try that, but that feels like it would probably dominate a 21-year-old whiskey. I know I'm not on camera. Hopefully you could still hear me talking. Just a Glenfiddich 12. Why don't we do the Fire and Cane? Why not? But if it's really smoky, it's not going to help as much. But I remember enjoying Fire and Cane for what it was. So, move that out of the way. There's the original. Here's the Fire and Cane. This one is a bottle donated by Harry Falkenberg. Thank you, Harry. Okay. Oh, yeah, smoky. Dang it. Okay. That's not really going to help. But the age of this and whatever the blend of the finishings was obscured. I typically have a pretty solid note for Glenfiddich that when I get it, I'm like, oh, I'm pretty sure that's Glenfiddich. I didn't get that at all in this one, in the sense that like it's there now that I know what I'm smelling. I can find it, but it was way back there. Yeah, the Fire and Cane is too much smoke. It's way smoky compared to any Glenfiddich I've ever had. I think that's why I liked it originally. Ooh! It does have that metallic vanilla at the end, but it's also got a lot of phenolic, rubbery, Band-Aidy kinds of notes. Oh, those are totally different whiskeys. It's not going to help you at all. I don't know how much a 21-year-old is, but if it's Glenfiddich, I'm guessing it's in the 300 plus range. So cheers to the calendar for letting us have that one. That's kind of cool. All right. I hope you're enjoying the journey, and these aren't getting too boring for us nerds. And I am and will be talking about these things in the comments and stuff like that. So I'll try to answer questions in the comments, and I'll see you tomorrow. Cheers to you. I'm really glad you're here.